There's a lot of talk about what is the future of networking. After 2 years of people being locked down and live in person meetings being on hold, a lot of people predicted that we would never go back to face events and that all of our networking would take place over Zoom or other online platforms. Now, what we proved during that time was that we can deliver content via online platforms. There were a lot of great meetings with a lot of great learning. But very few people I know, there are some exceptions, but very few people I know said, oh my gosh, the networking was so much better when we were just in like a Zoom breakout room with 5 people and everybody got 30 seconds. A lot of the serendipity of a hallway conversation at a live event is where the real networking happens. So you can't have necessarily the same type of impromptu serendipity when people are just staring into a screen in some sort of a Zoom room. Now, some people were masters at it, but most people said, I need to get back to that face-to-face. I want those hallway conversations. I want to talk to people in bars after the day of the conference. I don't want to just turn off my computer and walk into my kitchen. So what is the future of networking? I think the future of networking, while it will change and it will evolve, is a lot like the past because networking really doesn't have much to do with the event itself. However, sharing experiences with other people, that's how human beings bond and build friendships. That's why live events are so important. And while they're slowly coming back, I believe by 2023, the lives meeting industry will be setting records. I don't think that people are going to, as a general rule, prefer to go to every meeting from sitting in the corner of their office, looking into a camera and having to play little online networking games. I think that most people want to be at industry conferences and association events and company meetings. They want to be there sharing the experience with the other people, just like they have wanted to do forever. So I think the future of networking is a lot like the past of networking. And yet, how do we follow up? The digital tools are an awesome way to follow up with people, to cultivate relationships, and to keep relationships alive. So the future is really a mix of in-person shared experiences and online social media and other types of digital communication. So if you're planning a conference, what you want to do is plan to have great networking. Don't assume for a minute that people are only coming for the content, because if they only want content, there is great online options. But is there great online networking options? Not as much. Which means if you're planning an event, put more emphasis on that shared human experience than you've ever put into it before. So I have a couple of tips of what you can do. Number one, when you're contracting with your speakers, make sure that they're not the type of speaker who just shows up, gives a speech, and then goes out the side door, gets a cab to the airport. Some speakers, their greatest skill is getting out of there fast. I've actually talked to other speakers who tell me, you want to stay around the conference? God, I hate talking to people. Well, then you're in the wrong business in 2022, 2023, and beyond. Because when there is a live event, people want to create community, they want engagement, and they want the speaker to stick around. They want to see them at the break. They want them at the happy hour that night, because a lot of people aren't going to go up to a microphone and ask a question. They're not going to stand in line after the speaker is done. However, if they have a chance hallway conversation with them, they're going to go deep and have a conversation with those speakers. So make sure you negotiate with your speakers to be part of the event beyond the half hour, 45 minutes, or the hour that they're on stage. Get them to commit to network with your people. The second thing is you have to set up the vibe for great connections before, during, and after your conference. We can't just assume that open bar is going to cause people to network well. That's just not the way it works. You know, a couple of drinks doesn't make the networking better. In fact, it can actually create some problems. So here's what you want to do. You want to start talking in your correspondence weeks, if not months before the event, about why the networking at this event is going to be so spectacular. Share who's going to be there. Talk about the fact that your speakers have agreed to stay and participate. Therefore, it's more than just watching them talk at the audience for an hour, that they're going to be there to answer questions and be part of the community. When you're at the event, hire somebody to be your master of ceremonies who understands how to spur connection from people. Don't just have Becky from accounting serve as the master of ceremonies. Hire someone to be your conference catalyst. Now, if you look up on the internet, the conference catalyst, you're going to find me and what I do special for conferences to really help get people to engage. But I'm not the only option. There are a lot of people out there who know how to get audiences talking, who know how to get people to meet, and who teach people and guide people to make sure that they're going to create the best conference ever. And then finally, make sure that people are engaging afterwards, whether it's on your platform or on other social media. Get people to talk to each other. Encourage people not just to get LinkedIn, because who cares? If you've got 5,000 people you're connected to in LinkedIn, adding someone from a conference does not make them even noticeable to you. In fact, you'll probably never even see them in your LinkedIn stream because the algorithm from LinkedIn blocks out people that it thinks you don't really know. So just adding someone to LinkedIn, they're just as invisible as they were before. So what you have to do is encourage the people who attend how to engage afterwards to really keep conversations going. Meeting someone once does not make them part of your network. Meeting someone once makes them someone you have met once. And there is a huge difference between someone you've met once and someone who you are cultivating a long-term and mutually beneficial relationship with. So you want to make sure that you have your speakers committed to being part of the community. You want to make sure that before, during, and after you're showing people how to network and build those connections. And then finally, make sure that you're letting people know that that's why your organization exists. If you're an association, people join your association for the community. Let's face it, trade associations exist in order to build community and collaboration. Make sure that that is part of your message all year long, that that's why you exist, and make your event talked about, even in the months afterwards and in the months leading up. It is the place to be in your industry. Miss your event and you miss out for a whole year. People will take action because of FOMO. And if they know that the people who are attending your conference, if they know that those are the people who are finding relationships that are leading to success, they're going to want to come, and they're going to want to come back year after year after year. So here's my thought. There is a lot of disconnectedness out there in the world, and it is events, both association trade events and company events, that can give people a sense of belonging. So those of us who work in the events business, it's our responsibility to help people come to events, connect with others at events, and to build relationships with those people. I am super excited about what lies ahead. And if you're planning an event, give me a call. Just email me at tom@thomsinger.com and set up an appointment. I will share everything I know about how to get more engagement at your event, whether you hire me or not. I love to talk human connection when it comes to in-person events. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to talk more about this whole idea of human connections and community and collaboration in all the videos that I make. So sign up so that you don't miss future videos. Thanks.